what is poetry. What is poetry? This ain't some kind of Jeopardy answer, see? It's the words and the sentiment, the thought. Maybe not of who we are, but of who we ought to be in this big world which we reside, contained with big men with small pride. Though dead, they live lives, so now we have doomed men with big cries, but his cries are poetry. And what do we make of that weird girl in school with all the piercings and makeup, or that guy who was presented with a book he couldn't read, but he tried? And does that make him any lesser of a being? Lesser than you and me because we think that we strive in every aspect of literacy? Nah, because he is poetry. Or what about that suffering kinfolk, we love, but we kill just to get our share in that will? The one that rarely lives. We help with our bodies, but our hearts want to give up. I'm worried about these bills and I'm helping you? What the fuck? But see, that is poetry. Or the working all day just to be underpaid. Though abolished, still slaves of that blue-collar grave. And they want us to act right and behave so we won't be stereotyped or portrayed as ignorant. But that is poetry. So, what is poetry? It's the you and the me, the sunset on the sea, the tough lives that we must live in order to give our next generation an inspiration, not to be conformist of a negative connotation. Yes, that is poetry. There's a piece I wrote back in February for like a little Black History type deal in my high school. It's called I Wonder. I wonder. I wonder. I wonder what it felt like to be Dr. King, a martyr's dream when your skin color didn't mean a thing. And in the heat of things, to keep heads above water on the belief that things won't always be how they seem. And I wonder what her wrists saw when Rosa Parks wore them cuffs on that bus for that dream that she chose to sit for. Or a bit more, I wonder about those that spent more time walking because a boycott was in store. They endured sacrifice to ensure the dream that one day we'd be able to sit more. And I wonder about a person's hatred. How you could kill 3 girls inside a church's basement. One thing comes to mind when I search for statements. He was demonically inclined or his heart was vacant. How can people do these things? Hateful, stupid things. Canines free to maul at innocent human beings. And I wonder about Frederick Douglass, who opposed though he could end up dead in public. It upsets my stomach when I start to wonder if this shouldn't forget those who fought and suffered, if this nation shouldn't forget the many loss of brothers, the loss of loved ones, the ones above us. This is what happens when I start to wonder. And I actually related it to like a religious type purpose. So, my buddy is there, though you may not see him, because he exists in the air, every apple and pear, every blink of my eye, every gland of my hair, but you may not see him. Though he makes himself seen through the scene of some skin that is brown or some grass that is green, but you may not see him. Because you refuse to open your eyes to the fish in the sea or the birds in the sky, the ants on the ground or the bees in their hive, but you may not see him. Though he indeed sees you in every thought that you think and everything that you do, but you may not see him. Before my vision became clear, I had to listen up with my heart, though it's through ears that we hear. And right then, he denounced every fear, every possible thing that could make me scared. And my vision was no longer impaired. And I said, thanks, buddy. He is this man's best friend, although mistreated at times. He helps me triumph, although defeated at times. He keeps me humble when I become a little conceited at times. He loves me like only he could, because we all know that it's needed at times. He shares with me and I in him. He confides in me and I in him. My buddy died for me and I in turn will die in him. And when I think about all that he does, I could never be him. I could never be him. And it's so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad that you may not see him. that with an ounce of conceit, not because of the Lacoste on my chest or the J's on my feet, but rather I'm fly because I'm one of those guys that strives with confidence and accomplishments, simply because I've overcome incompetence. So just take heed as I proceed to succeed without touching a shot glass or an ounce of some weed, and I'ma continue to go forward without looking back, getting money, respect, prosperity. Oh yeah, and he's black. Don't think I don't see your envious stare because of the clothes that I wear or my confident glare. Don't contrast or compare your life to my life, your wife to my wife. See, I was a warrior to get here, so don't compare your knife to my life. See, the difference is you do things for the woos and the wows, for the here and the now, whereas I look past my limited breaths and prepare myself for a life after death. See, I take care of my friends, I take care of my fam, I take care of myself to obviate being damned.